You've been told that the secret to sales on social media is to stop the scroll. But what if I told you that's only part of the story? It is not enough to create great content that people consume. If you want sales from that content, you need a strategy in place to stop the scroll and keep it stopped so your ideal buyers aren't just consuming your content and moving on with their life, but they are consuming it and doing something with it. In this video, I'm walking you through a simple step you can incorporate into the social media content you're already creating to capture your audience and bring them deeper into your world so they become buyers. This is going to work for you even if you are starting with a small audience or if you have a larger audience but you don't feel like you're getting enough sales, especially daily sales, from your content. Hey there, I'm Jordan Maylea, and I give entrepreneurs the blueprint to grow your audience, automate your sales, and build a business that works for you 24/7 so you don't have to. If you're new here, be sure and hit that subscribe button. I put out brand new videos like this every single week, and I don't want you to miss the next free training I release. I want you to imagine waking up every morning to Stripe notifications, new subscribers, a calendar that isn't full of sales calls or live launches, but still brings in consistent revenue every single day. And not from posting more content or selling in the DMs, but from an automated sales system that works for you 24/7 so you don't have to. That is not a fantasy. This is a sales system, and it's what has allowed me to bring in over $2 million in sales with my own digital courses and coaching products while working an average of just 15 hours a week. This system has helped me generate at least one sale a day, every day for the last 8 years, including during the 5 months that I took completely away from my business in 2024 due to a high-risk pregnancy and maternity leave. Now, imagine that system starts with one lead magnet. And if you're thinking, okay, sounds great, but I've created lead magnets before and they haven't worked, either no one's opting in or those who do turn into leads are just a bunch of freebie seekers instead of ideal clients who actually want to buy from you, I hear you. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid those problems and create a lead magnet that actually does the heavy lifting for your business. To help you implement everything we covered today, I have put together a brand new free resource called my Profitable Lead Magnet Idea Generator. Inside this exclusive guide, I'll help you choose the best format for your lead magnet using my unique reverse engineering process that ensures it brings in buyers, not random leads or freebie seekers. We're going to align your lead magnet with your paid offers, work on your messaging and positioning so that it's irresistible to your ideal client, and validate the idea before you create it so you can feel confident that the work you put in will actually drive leads and sales for your business. This exclusive guide is valued at $97, but I'm offering it free for a limited time, and you can grab it at globalfreedomcommunity.com/magnet. I will also link it below for you as well. Let's start by talking about what doesn't work. Most coaches, course creators, online experts, they create a lead magnet that is too general, too boring, or worse, completely disconnected from what they're trying to sell. Then they wonder why their audience isn't growing and why those who do opt in aren't lining up to buy their stuff. If you've experienced this before, the problem isn't you. It's the way that you've been taught to think about lead magnets. Because if your lead magnet doesn't attract the right people while also pre-framing them to say yes to your offer, then it's just another random piece of content floating around the internet. The good news is this is actually really easy to fix, so let's break it down step by step. Back when I first started my business, I was doing all the right things. I was posting consistently, I was creating valuable educational content, I was showing up in stories, I was talking about my offers in the DMs, but everything felt heavy. Sales were inconsistent, they were unpredictable, and they certainly weren't automated. And I was involved in every single transaction, from replying to comments in my posts, reaching out to people who wanted more information, following up, closing sales. It was absolutely exhausting. And I didn't need to create more content. I needed a system that turned those social media strangers into leads and leads into buyers. And I knew if I really wanted the freedom that I had been promised in my business, this system had better be as automated as possible. So I sat down and I created one really specific lead magnet, and I paired it with an automated sales funnel that captures leads and sales from my content 24/7. That one funnel went on to generate over 43,000 leads and $300,000 in sales in just 10 months without a single DM or sales call. And if you're taking notes, this is the part to underline. The best lead magnets are strategic, not sexy. Your lead magnet's job is not to just get downloads. It actually has 3 jobs. So let's talk about it. Number 1, its first job is to attract the right people. And here's the cool thing. When you are attracting the right people, you're also repelling the wrong ones. The goal is not to create a lead magnet that has mass appeal, but instead to create one that is massively appealing to your specific person, your ideal client. From there, the second job is to solve a small slice of that person's problem. So it should deliver them a quick win while leaving them hungry for that next step. And that brings me to the third and most important role of your lead magnet. It needs to naturally set up your paid offer as a no-brainer next step for your new lead. Now, there's a 4-step process I follow anytime I sit down to create a new lead magnet for myself or for a client so that I know without a doubt that it hits these goals. I start by beginning with the end in mind. Your lead magnet isn't just a resource that you're giving away for fun. It is a bridge between your content and your paid offers. The shorter the bridge is, the faster people come across it and the more people end up converting. It is not enough for your lead magnet to be helpful. It needs to be aligned with what you eventually want them to buy. That's why before you even think about what to create, you need to ask yourself, what do I want to sell and who do I want to sell it to? The key is to reverse engineer your lead magnet by beginning with your paid offer first and then working backwards until you arrive at a lead magnet idea that is perfectly attuned to the person who would be the best fit for that paid offer. So for example, if your offer is a digital course that helps people automate their sales, a good lead magnet would not be about how to go viral on Instagram. Why? That lead magnet is way too broad. It could attract people from different industries, including influencers, content creators, affiliate marketers, people who would not be a good fit for that main paid offer. Instead, you might want to create an automation checklist for coaches who want consistent clients without sales calls. You have now taken that bridge and shortened it and immediately raised the quality of the lead who comes across. Now, another example, if your offer is a 12-week full body bootcamp and you want to sell that offer to new moms who are eager to feel confident and strong in their postpartum body, you should not create a lead magnet on 5 low-impact exercises to stay mobile after 60, right? That just wouldn't work. Instead, you could create a lead magnet with 5 gentle stretches to help you feel at home in your postpartum body. While either one of those lead magnets could eventually lead to that full body bootcamp, you want to pick one that aligns with the type of person you're wanting to work with. Let's do one more. Let's say that your paid offer is a coaching program that helps high-achieving women attract emotionally available partners. You may think that a great freebie would be 101 first date questions to keep the conversation going. But again, the bridge is too long. Instead, a freebie on how to recognize the red flags of an emotionally unavailable man before your first date, that would be much more aligned. Once you have that alignment in place, the next step is to make sure your lead magnet solves a small, tangible problem. You don't want to solve everything in your lead magnet. You want to solve one small, relevant, and this is huge, high friction problem for your ideal client, something that they are already trying to Google their way through. You see, most people go wrong here because they think more content equals more value. So they pack their lead magnet with all this stuff when in reality, the truth is really the opposite. The goal is not to deliver the most content, it's to deliver the fastest, most efficient path to a quick win. So going back to that relationship niche example, lead magnets like the Complete Dating Confidence Guide or Shift Your Energy to Attract Better Partners, that sounds fancy, but in reality, they're vague and they're hard to act on. The right lead magnet can be used in 5 to 10 minutes and will leave your ideal client feeling like they took a meaningful step forward. So, for example, the lead magnet on recognizing red flags could be used by your ideal client with the next person they swipe with on a dating app. They will know immediately that it was your resource that spared them from yet another bad first date. And that's the kind of win that's tangible, clear, and fast while still leaving them eager for more. Okay, step 3 is to make sure your lead magnet is written using the language of your ideal client, not elaborate jargon. I don't know why this happens, but I see it all the time. Somebody who is really smart, they know their audience really well, they go to name their lead magnet or their paid offer and they just turn into a weirdo, okay? And I'm sorry, but it's true. Suddenly they are creating names that sound like something out of a Shakespearean novel instead of something that their ideal client would be Googling at 2 a.m., right? They might take that red flag lead magnet idea and name it something like the Relational Readiness Assessment, how to identify emotional availability in modern dating. You're like, okay, I don't think anyone is up on their phone late at night looking up articles on emotional readiness. Instead, when I ask my clients to describe their resource as if they are sharing it with a good friend over a cup of coffee, that's where the sweet spot happens. The key is to say it how your ideal client would say it. So for example, how to recognize the 7 red flags of an emotionally unavailable man before the first date. It's conversational, it's clear, it promises a quick win, and it solves a real problem that your client knows they have. When naming your lead magnet, do a little gut check. Would my ideal client say this out loud? Would they text it to a friend? Would they recognize themselves in it immediately? If not, it needs some work. If you want to deep dive into this and make sure you get the messaging for your lead magnet right the first time, be sure to grab my profitable lead magnet idea generator. This is one where the exercises in this guide are going to show you how to audit your lead magnet before you create it so that you can make sure it is perfectly positioned for your ideal buyers. All right, the last step of this process is to take this resource and connect it to a funnel and use that resource as the call to action in 80% of your content. Creating a landing page that includes the title of your lead magnet, along with a hook and 3 to 5 bullet points that position it as an irresistible next step for the person consuming your content. On that page, include a form where they can get your lead magnet for free in exchange for their name and email. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is they create this great lead magnet, but they don't know how or when to talk about it so that they actually get opt-ins. So here's my advice. If you don't feel like you're talking about your lead magnet too much, you're not talking about it enough. Start by using it as the CTA in 80% of your content online and describe it in a way that the benefits are clear to the person who is consuming that content. The bridge theory applies here too. If you can adequately show someone in 1 to 2 sentences that your lead magnet is the perfect next step after that video they just watched on Instagram or TikTok, they will opt in every single time. This strategy is the best way to capture leads from your content so that your ideal clients aren't just consuming your next post, they're consuming it and doing something with it. And speaking of doing something, if you're ready to create your next lead magnet, make sure you do grab my profitable lead magnet idea generator. This is a brand new resource that I created. It's valued at $97, but I'm giving it away for free for a limited time. I'm going to help you choose the best format and topic for your lead magnet, align it with your paid offers, and nail your messaging and positioning so that it's irresistible to your ideal client. I'm also going to help you validate the idea before you create it because, let's be real, there's nothing worse than sinking hours into a project like this only to find that it doesn't convert. If you want to take it a step further and turn your new leads into customers instantly and automatically, often within minutes of someone finding you online, then definitely hit the subscribe button and come back next week because I'm going to show you how I generated over $88,000 in passive sales from my lead magnet my first year in business with just one simple strategy that will absolutely blow your mind. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.